always say on Saturday morning that those are the most special people to me, just because people are willing to get out of bed, especially in the weather right now when it's cold outside, when everyone else has the day off, when other people are sleeping, and you come to a business meeting to come and take notes and hear from leaders and hear from leaders and get tips and get some nuggets and figure out ways how you can grow and get better. But a training at 10 p.m., 9:30, 10 p.m. on a weeknight. Right. Who came from where today? Gaithersburg. DC?
DC, yes sir. Yes sir.
Woodbridge. Woodbridge. Yeah, so if you've been coming to meetings the last couple of weeks, the theme has just been, especially when I'm training, when I was out of town, Shaq was doing meetings, I don't know exactly what he was talking about, but then when I was doing meetings and he was out of town. But when I was doing the meetings, I talked a lot about goals, I talked about changes, I talked about, your report card as an adult, that we look at kids' report cards, how'd you do this semester, how'd you do this year, we look at their GPA, we look at their cumulative GPA, we look at how they're performing, but sometimes as adults we have no accountability, we don't have a report card, right? And so we've been talking a lot about that, but now it's the new year, right? And the goal should be set, and the decision should be made, and lucky for us, we're in the right opportunity where we can run our own business, we can stack 1 week on top of another week on top of another week and have a good month, and stack months on top of months and have a good quarter, and have a couple good quarters and potentially have a good year. And if you have a couple good years in Primerica, you can completely change your life. And that's what we're here for. We want to do something different. The reason why we attract people that want to drive in the dead cold at night to come to a meeting is because we look for people who want something different. We look for people who want something better. We look for people who want an opportunity, man, who don't want to drive in traffic every single day, who don't think it's normal to have a boss, who don't think it's normal to be middle class, who don't think it's normal to just work for someone forever and have to ask for a raise and have to ask for a promotion and have to change jobs just to make a little bit more money, who might want an early retirement, who might want to do some special things. So we do look for people that are a little bit different. But the question that I have for you today is life easy? No, man. Life is already going to be difficult. So if it's going to be difficult anyways, why don't we choose the difficult route as far as our careers go and our income goes, and do what's required to make a lot of money to make life a little easier. I don't care what anybody says, man. Life is a little bit easier, if not a lot easier, if you don't have money problems. I just heard Sophia telling her new recruit, what we do for families is great. Helping people is great. Helping people become financially independent is great. Educating families is great. Sending kids to college is great. Helping people retire is great. Helping people get out of debt is great, but at the end of the day, that's all good, but the other side of that for you is you got to become financially independent. Financially independent, when you have enough money coming in or saved up where you don't have to work for anyone. You don't even have to work in your own business if you don't want to. I mean, think about that. You never have to think about filling up your gas tank. These are things just, several years ago I had to worry about. Filling up my gas tank, going to the grocery store, fixing my car, getting new tires, saving some money in an IRA, and then on a higher level, vacations and the kind of clothes you want to wear and the kind of car you want to drive and, the kind of house you want to live in. This thing is about financial independence, man. We're trying to make some real money. But in order to make real money here, you have to upgrade yourself. you got to do it, man. Today we're going to be talking about some of the things that we're putting out there to constantly gauge if you're getting ahead or not. To constantly recognize the people in the organization, because this is a team, and in all sports, things are performance-based. We're going to see who's performing. We're going to have benchmarks. We're going to have designations. We're going to see who wants to get to that next level. And you're going to have an opportunity every single month to reprove yourself. And some people are going to do it sometimes and come back down, and other people are going to do it consistently, and it's going to be a life-changing year for them. But life is already going to be hard, man. Let's do the hard things in Primerica. Let's build a team. Let's go out there and prospect. Let's do the things that everyone else thinks is weird so that we can have a weird income, right? Hey, some of the things I do are weird. My schedule's a little bit weird, right? What I had to do to build this business is a little bit weird, right? The fact that I sacrificed a six-figure opportunity to people, that was weird. But now my lifestyle is weird to them, right? So basically, I look at my last couple of months making, 20 grand in a month and 30 grand in a month and 35 grand in a month, and it's like I can seriously tell you that based on, compared to someone who works a corporate schedule, I was part-time those 3 months. That's 30, 35, 65 plus 20, and the month's not over. They're going to give me till the 7th. What does that add up to? 85 grand? 85 grand, 3 months working part-time. Traveled a lot during that time. Went out to dinner at a nice restaurant, almost, and now I got to cut that down a little bit. Got my blood work, right? Got to make some changes. But, I literally, it wasn't on anybody else's terms. On my own terms, making the kind of money that I feel like I'm worth, making money when I want to make money, making money, as much money as I feel like making. I mean, what an opportunity, man. What an opportunity. But you're going to get that when you decide to do the difficult things. See, wealthy and successful people don't get turned off by challenges. If you listen to unsuccessful people, what do they say? They say, oh no, that's too hard, right? Either you're going to back down to challenges or you're going to overcome them. That's the main thing. One of the things that we always teach is there's a challenge or there's a problem, right? What is the size of that challenge? What challenges do people have? What do people complain about? What do people complain about? 99% of it is money. What do people complain about? They complain about bills. They complain about people saying things to them. They complain about their boss. I mean, you can set a number on the size of somebody's problem. That book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, talks about that. When someone comes to me with an issue, right, Josh, I always say, what's the size of that problem that you're talking about right now? What is it on a scale of 1 to 10? A 2? If that problem is bigger than us, right, what size are we? A 1 out of 10? When you can grow as an individual, what other people consider to be big problems are going to be nothing to you. That's what we want to do, man. We want a leadership development program where people come in and they rise up to challenges. We're going to throw out challenges, man. Challenges on how to help you grow. Challenges on how to help you make money, upgrade your money-making capacity, your money-making skills. And you're going to hear these challenges, and there's 2 ways to respond. Either you're going to back down because you think it's hard, or you think it's challenging, or you think the sacrifices are too great, or you're going to say, you know what? The end result is worth it, and I'm going to, like Glenn Williams just said in the video, I don't know if you've watched it yet, he sent that message out to everyone. He said, or you're going to think, I'm going to wake up a lot earlier and go to sleep a lot later because I want to accomplish these goals in 12 to 24 months. This is not one of those things, man, where it's going to take you 10, 15 years. It doesn't have to do that. I qualified for RVP. I didn't take the promotion. I qualified in 18 months as a 22-year-old. Came into business 22. In 18 months, I did 30 by 30, and I qualified to be a vice president. Anybody in here, you're 12 to 24 months away from making 20 grand a month. 20 grand a month. Think about that. Think about what you can do. The nicest apartment you've ever seen is probably $2,500, $3,000 a month in this area. A really nice car, what, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 a month? Eating where you want, going where you want. 20 grand goes a long way. Goes a long way. And everyone in here is 12 to 24 months away from doing that, right? So, this is a question that I ask people sometimes. How many sales are you away from solving your problems? I mean, think about that, man. It's crazy. There's people where $1,000 a month would change their life. They'd be able to pay off their credit card debt You know, if they had $10,000, $8,000, $7,000, they'd be able to pay off their car. Right? Maybe you want to send some money to your parents. Maybe you want to go back, you know, send some money back to your country. Whatever it is, whatever goals you have, how many sales are you away from that? I mean, we're in a business where people, you know, I got people, they're making $500 a sale. $500 for helping a family. Some of you guys are literally, you're stressed out over $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. You're 5, 6 families away from figuring out your issues. Focus on the solution. Don't keep thinking about the problem. This is an unbelievable, Shaq was sitting with doctors over the weekend telling them that you can make $500 in a transaction and they were wowed about it. Sometimes we get numb to this. How many sales are you away from your problem? I remember that day when I was in Primerica, I had a securities license, and I came into Primerica with a lot of credit card debt because I was not smart financially. I would just go to the mall, I racked up my credit card debt, everything was maxed out, I'd get another card, another card, another card. I was completely irresponsible before this guy, changed my life and taught me how to manage my finances. And one day I woke up and I was like, man, I'm so consumed with these credit card bills and the interest and I can't get it down. What if I could just make $10,000 in a month, which I've never made before, and just pay these all off at the same time? And I went out there and I used what they taught me in Primerica and I did it. We are all 5, 10, 15, some of us 20 transactions away from solving all of our problems. That's the power that you have here. People talk about, oh, commission, it's hard, it's this, it's that. No, what's hard is, I have to put in 40 hours to make this much money and I have to work years. In commission, in a transaction-based business, we can condense the time frames and we can make a lot in a short period of time if we're willing to go out there and hustle. You gotta know what's in front of you, man. There's a couple things that Shaq and I were talking about, okay? Number one, we want to recognize people who do, in regards to transactions, people out there helping families. We're going to have a board, and we're going to recognize people that do $5,000 personal premium and $10,000 personal premium. These are going to be some of the most important people in our organization. It shows that they're being solution-focused in their own life, and they're helping clients with solutions. If you're brand new here, that means on average, you're helping, in a month you helped about 5 families, right? And then the all-stars are going to be the people that help 10 families. So what we're going to do, this is how it's going to work. In the middle of the office, when you walk into our office, not way back in the conference room, right there in the hallway, we're going to have a huge board. It's going to be a nice fancy board. And if you do one of these numbers, we're going to have your name, okay? And if you do 5,000, okay, starting now, we're going to give you a silver star. If you do 10,000, we're going to give you a gold star. And for the people that are competitive, and for people that want that designation, and for people that want to track their progress, and for people that want to be held accountable, and for people that want to have a great year, that's going to be a very important thing for you to see for yourself and for you to show people when they come in the office. And we're going to make freaking heroes out of people that get on that board. Because what's more important than you helping families, getting results, and in turn helping yourself and bettering your own financial situation? Okay. On the other side of that, we have the opposite thing, okay? Opposite side of the business, which is just as important, if not more, which is double-digit recruiting, okay? So double-digit means what? 2 digits, 10, right? So when you do 10 or more of anything, you now enter double-digit. We are going to have a double-digit wall. There's going to be a whole wall in the office that is dedicated to people who do 10 or more recruits. We want to develop leaders. We want to develop builders. We want to develop recruiters, people who understand that it's a better way to make money. When I'm a broker, I have agents under me. That's a better way to live my life. And when you learn that, you're going to teach others how to live a better life. We have to promote and recognize people that one day want to have their own office that are building an agency. So if you do 10 recruits in a month, we're going to have a wall. It's going to have your picture on it. You're going to be able to show people that as well. And I'm sure that we'll do something on there where on the picture maybe we'll somehow show or recognize how many months you've done that so far. So, if you just do it 1 month, in order to motivate you further, we'll do this. And this is, I'm telling you, man, for a guy like me, I make good money. But when I think and hear about things like this, I want my name all over that thing, man. I do, because it matters to me that my peers think that I'm a performer, that I'm a doer, that I'm a winner, that I'm a goal hitter, that I'm somebody important within an organization, that I'm a contributor. I'm not just a consumer. You know what I mean? That is very important to me. Those are the types of people that we look for, people that are driven to have their name in lights. And that's what we're going to do. One other thing that we're going to start doing as well is we're going to recognize people when they hit certain base shop license numbers. So what does this mean? That means that you want to be a broker. You're coming in. You're brand new. You get your license. In your organization, how many licenses do you have? 1. Then you hire 2 friends. They get their license. Now how many do you have? 3. So we're going to start recognizing people who get to 5, who get to 10, right? Who get to 15, who get to 20, who get to 25. Every time you hit that next barrier, we're going to celebrate how you're on your way to becoming a vice president and you're going to be building a brokerage, which is the purpose of being here. It's the purpose of being here, right? Yeah, Primerica is really ethical, and yeah, we're like a family, and it's an awesome story, but at the end of the day, selling insurance and investments can happen at a lot of companies, but here, you can be the insurance company. You can be the investment company. You can own that business. Instead of getting hired and trained to sell for someone else, you can hire and train to sell for you. That's the opportunity, man. So this is what we're going to be talking about this year. Creating a culture where people want to become brokers, where they want to become vice presidents, tracking their progress all along the way. Okay? I was telling someone today that I'm a forward thinker. They always say never focus on where you are, focus on where you're going, especially when you're on your way to success, because they say the road to success is uphill and it's windy, right? And so you always got to focus on where you're going, but there's some awesome things, man, that are coming in our future. I look at some of the people in our organization. I look at some of the decisions that people have made for my personal team. I've gone over some of the goals, and there are awesome things coming. I'll leave you with this before I bring Shaq up, is that 2 to 3 hours a day can change your life very, very quickly. There's a saying, it's a cliche, everyone's heard it before, what you focus on grows. Set time aside. There's no excuses. You could have a family, you could be a parent, you could have a job, and you could be in school. You got to figure out how to make time to grow your business. Because you're giving your time everywhere. You're giving it to here, you're giving it to there, you're giving it maybe to somebody else's business, somebody else's company, but how much time can you set aside? Can you wake up an hour earlier? Can you sacrifice time at your lunch? Can you get off work and instead of watching TV and watching Netflix, right, and watching reality TV, can we put an hour there? Can we add in time to prospect, to find people, to build our business, to call for referrals? I mean, it's got to be scheduled in. A lot of times what happens is we set these lofty goals, but we don't have an action plan. We don't have daily disciplines that we put in there in order to get us there. And then a month goes by, and 2 months go by, and 3 months go by, and then we say, where is the year going? And eventually the year is just over. So 2 to 3 hours can change your life. Where can we find that time? Maybe in the beginning it's 1 hour, right? Where can we find that time in our schedule where we waste less time? Okay, maybe we have to sacrifice sleep, maybe we sacrifice TV, maybe we gotta sacrifice music, maybe we gotta sacrifice the wrong friends, right? Or not just the wrong friends, but friends that just aren't going in the same direction as you. You gotta be selfish right now with your time. You gotta be selfish right now with your ear, who you're listening to, who you're allowing in your mind, whose phone call you're taking. And I promise you, if you can be selfish for just a little bit, you're going to be able to be unselfish later on. There's a lot you're going to be able to give back to people. I was reading an article, Shaq, yesterday that George Clooney, several years ago, and I'm not going to do this story, he got 13 of his friends together that he grew up with. He said, hey, you heard this? Right? He got 13 of his friends together, and he said, everybody show up. We're all going to meet up. These are his childhood friends, people who supported him while he was being an actor. And he gave everybody a briefcase and it had $1 million cash in it. Wow. And he goes, you guys were with me, man. You guys were with me. You guys went through everything with me. You let me sleep on your couch. And some of you guys are worried about sending your kids to school. Some of you guys are worried about basic things. No more. No more. I'm like, right? And you can do, man. I go and visit my mom. She's leaving the country in a couple of days. She got to quit her job. Now she's self-employed and kind of runs her own little travel agency. And every time I go over there, she's wearing that Rolex watch that I got her with the diamonds on it. And she's so happy every time she looks at it. I mean, but there was a time where she felt like she didn't see me a lot. And there was a time where she felt that, oh, this is the only thing that matters to you. And there was a time that she wished that I went to more weddings and birthday parties and, family functions, and I didn't always come home late, and I didn't always have to leave the house early, and I didn't have to always work on those holidays, and I couldn't go on the family trip. There was a time where she felt I was selfish, but now I can be unselfish, right? And that's what we're all looking for. So I'm going to bring Shaq up. Shaq is, for those of you guys who've been here for a year or so, the Shaq that you know is someone that really has been part-time, family man, awesome dad. Everyone that I introduce Shaq to always says about how much of a family person he is, and we know that is, it's been his number one priority. When you got 3 kids under the age of 10, he was an awesome dad, setting a great example of how you build a family, run a family, he's a provider for his wife. But something has clicked in him now with the purchase of this new house and him wanting to get his business to the next level. And you're going to see a change in this guy. He's ready to invest in us, in you, and in himself and his business to get to that next level. And that's the thing that Shaq has always done. Every time I took a couple steps forward, I thought I was catching up, he grew as a leader as well. And that's the best gift that you can give to people, is to stay ahead of them so that you can give them something to strive for and they can be a great example to you. And that's what he's doing. I know we're going to see a change in him. So give it up for Shaq.
How's everybody doing? Great. They got their jackets on, all cold. Makes me want to go home and sleep. Get them in bed. Get them the comforter. But we got work to do. I don't know about you guys, but I was very excited for December to close. Sometimes, you want to keep the momentum going, and sometimes you want the month to end as quickly as possible. And that's how I felt. But you hear things, and you hear these cliches, and you hear these things, and you hear them so much they just kind of go over your head. Okay? But attitude is everything. Okay? Attitude is everything. And how you vision this 2018, it still may not be good for you, but it gives you a shot. If you're optimistic, if you're excited, if you're intense, if you're passionate, if you're confident, if you're uneasy in a good way, if you're out of your comfort zone, if you're open-minded. Because in my heart, and I believe this, and I've been praying about this, and not just wrestling with this, not even praying, wrestling with this, is 2018 is going to be a banner year. I review my notes. I was in Michigan for a week while we got the house ready to sell. It's kind of funny because my brother-in-law sent me an article, and he sent me an article. I didn't share it with you. And so we got our house ready to sell. And so like today, somebody came to look at the house and get all the kids all out and clean it up and put the toilet seats down, open all the blinds and stuff. And so for the first week, we didn't want to be there for that. So yeah, open house. Hey, we'll get it all ready and then we'll go. And then we went to friggin' the North Pole. Right? I mean, it was just like, dude, what the hell am I doing, man? You're from Michigan. I mean, how bad? Like, damn, dude. Like, it was so, I mean, you get out of the car just to pump gas, and you're just like, it's painful. It hurt so bad. So I slept in my clothes the whole week. Never. I mean, nothing. It was just, but my brother sent me an article, and it was like, hey, man, your house is in an article. The house that we just bought. Top 10 houses in Loudoun County. Wow. 4. So he has some work to do. Now, for sale, it's not the top 10 of the 10, but it's pretty cool, right? I mean, my apartment in Dulles Green is never going to be on the top 10, right? My parents' basement is never going to be in the top 10, right? And it's just, you know, a C student in an insurance scam cult that when we meet at 9:30 in the evening, right? Are you going to work? No. Are you going to an appointment? No. It's a meeting. What kind of meeting? Goals. Get ready for 2018. Right? And you know, I know all those things that people say, and things like that. And you know, one day your house will be on the internet saying, "Hey," I mean, Loudoun County is not, right? I mean, Loudoun, Fairfax County, Montgomery County, right? I mean,
Richest county.
Huh?
Richest county in the country.
Right? I mean, Loudoun County. Not a bad deal, right? So, anyway, so we got the house ready, and so I was up there, and I was just, you know, there's nothing to do, right? I mean, you can't go outside, you can't play football, there's just snow everywhere. It wasn't going anywhere, it just kept snowing all the time. And so I was just, you know, reviewing my notes and reviewing some of the things in terms of my calendar and daily planners and things like that. And the company had its $5th million earner this year, right? Who I've been actually talking about for a month, right? Charlotte, right? Who was a taxi cab driver. And Samir, 10 years ago, I did an event for Lavin, and I was at $250 in income, and Charlotte was at $300. And now he's at $1 million a year. And he's making $100,000 a month. And he drove a cab. He's a cab driver. You see people, and you see Bruce talking like, yeah, okay, I can see, I got a long way to go. I can see why you're, and I'm not saying this about you, I mean, you can tell, he was a cab driver. You can just tell, that was him. $1 million a year. And our company's 5th person that went over $1 million last year. So, people don't understand. When I came in the business right around 2004, we'd have $1 million earner every other year. We had 5 in 1 year. Some of you guys don't understand how stocks work. Okay? The stock market's not a gimmick or anything like that. It's not like tulip mania that they teach in school and teachers teach that. Stock prices are determined by valuation of the company. Okay? So the big boys, the big girls, the CEOs of companies, the people that have lots of money, when they go to buy a company, they have to buy all the outstanding shares of the company. So that's how a value is determined. So if someone wanted to buy Microsoft, someone could do it. If they had, or Amazon, if they had $100 billion and they got an investment group or an ownership group together, they could look at the stock and say, hey, we're going to buy all the stock. And if they, you know, you could be a majority owner, you get 51%, or some people can just buy the entire company. Okay? So if our stock price went up, right, Matt, what did it go up this year?
Like 30, 40 bucks.
Okay, so if it went from 60, call it 40, right? $44 a year this year, right? If it went from $60 to $100, that means the value of Primerica has basically doubled in 1 year. That the value of our company, that's what you're part of. You're part of a company, the #1 financial services company in North America, the fastest growing, and the only one that's going to give opportunity to people like us to make a friggin' ton of money. And you're working in an underserved market. I'm not talking about North America. I'm talking about DC Metro. And there are, right? There are some other offices in the area, but, you know, they just do the wrong things. You know, they're all over for just doing dumb shit all the time. And we go out, we clean up their mess. And we're poised for freaking greatness. Where would you want to be? You want a repeat of 2017? You can't come? You want, right? Look at the freaking signs on the highway. Don't you want to freaking do a U-turn and go the other direction? I know for me, that I want to make some serious changes, not because I'm upset with my life. It's just I want to grow, man. I want to grow. I want to get better as a person, as a human being. I was telling Kelvin today, everything about me is just about getting better. Oh yeah, hey, what pill are you taking? Will it work? I'll take it. But not because I'm a pillhead, because I want to get better. Oh hey, what workout are you? Kelvin, what are you telling me? If you drink cold water first thing in the morning, it helps your digestive system. I'll try anything to get better. It doesn't matter. Everything about me, I'm trying to get better. Financially get better. Relationship, marriage, spiritual life, physical, self-improvement. Like, why would you ever want to be the same, man? Why would you want to waste time, waste all? You don't know, man. That's not what we're about. That's why we're here. And so, how's your attitude about 2018? You better let those bricks go. Better let that resentment go. You better let that guilt go. You better let that anger go. You better let that depression go. You don't got time for that. Now, you can harbor some of that if it's motivating. Okay? But everything else, man, this isn't, it's just like, look, I don't know why. I love the turn of the year. I really do. I mean, I know we're not supposed to really believe that things happen at a date, it's a decision, it's internal, it's deep, but I don't know. Sometimes when the year turns, it's January 1st, I'm more hopeful than I ever am. I mean it. And if I can build a lead, if I can get off to a fast start, I just feel wonderful. And I like to feel good, me personally, right? If I feel good, I play good. And, this year, and it starts in the first 2 weeks of the month, right? By the 14th, for our big event, which I'll talk about in a little bit, are so important. It's so important to get some victories under your belt and get a jump on this year. And so to get a couple recruits, to get a couple sales, to keep with your self-improvement, to stay up a little later, to wake up earlier, to keep a better attitude. Stupid things I used to do at the turn of the year. I'm not going to say curse words this year. I'm not going to sleep in. I'm going to have 2 alarms. I'm not going to, all these little things, these mind games, these gymnastics that I play with myself, they all work. They all work. And that's what this is about, man. Cab driver can make $1 million a year, you can make $100 grand. Okay? So, we got some things that we want to talk about real quick. And, so the first thing is, I have been talking about this a little bit, is the theme of the year is raise your standards. Okay? That's our office theme. Right? That's something that we're just going to continue to say. Just increasing, and standards can be anything, right? Usually New Year's resolutions. I want to lose weight. That's a higher standard for you. I want to gain weight. Higher standard. I want to eat better. I want to stop smoking. I want to read more. I want to watch less stupid television. Higher standard. Okay? Now, in the business, what happens is, and where I've kind of veered off, and it's very logical to think this way, is we want to give stuff to people. Okay? Why? Because, temporarily it's like giving them a fish, right? They eat and they feel good and then you've done something nice for somebody, but it doesn't help people long term. Okay? If people don't earn things, they don't value it, they don't learn how to do, be somewhat independent, right? If my son at 7 years old or 16 years old wants me to change his diaper, I did something wrong, right? It's like doing a kid's homework. They get an A, but they didn't learn the lesson. And so sometimes I know everybody takes shortcuts and things like that, but, we have been kind of cheapening our standards as an organization. Now, I'm not saying, you guys know how it was before. I was, you come 1 minute late, we locked the door. We don't care how far you came, right? We don't care what the number was. You know, if you didn't double the guidelines from the company guidelines, you weren't getting promoted. If you weren't number one, you weren't getting. And I had these crazy standards, and you know, a lot of people from this room are extremely successful because of those. I'm not saying I was right or wrong, okay? But now I've kind of gone on the opposite end, okay? You know, you guys know I have 3 kids, but more importantly, I have 2 daughters and a wife, and so I'm soft now. And I'm rich. I'm rich, you know, Jack, you were angry. Yeah, I was broke, right? Now I have money. It doesn't matter if you produce or not. Like, you know, yeah, I'll just watch, you know, whatever. You know, I mean, it just doesn't matter. But, you know, certain things, I realize that it's just having negative effects on people, right? One thing, and I'm gonna bring, you know, this is your warning, your 3 minutes that you got to prepare. Okay, so my rambling, and you're gonna come up. Yeah. One thing for us is our promotions, right? We're not doing a great job of getting people promoted, and you know, the natural instinct is let's just promote more people. No. We're going to raise our standards for promotion. Okay? And when I go through this, like every promotion is going to go through me. Okay? Meaning, if Shay, RVP, T and Shay, they want to promote somebody, that's cool. It's on them, but I'm going to click the button. So they'll come to me if they want to come and say, hey, look, and if it's a, hey, this person and there's a story behind it, that's fine, do it. And I'll probably bend, but you got to tell the story. You got to tell me why you want this person to not have to do what everybody else does. And you know what? Here's the thing, okay? You know what people's minds, what the poison in people's minds are? Is, well, they didn't have to do it before. Okay, well, let me finish all that, because nobody's going to do what I did. Okay? So I don't care if someone else, and you know, well, Tiffany went to regional leader and she didn't have to do what I did. I don't care. I did the wrong thing. And if I did the wrong thing for Tiffany, that doesn't mean I have to do the wrong thing for you. But you're never, hey, you're asking me. Because, hey, if you can do what I did, you can get promoted. But I'm not saying that. I'm going to show you the guidelines. And these guidelines, these guidelines that we're going to adhere to. Will we make a battlefield promotion? Sure we will. But the people that stick to these, they're going to have the most success. I promise you that. And it starts with getting the district leader. Everything's district leader. Everything's district leader, right? We had one district promotion, sprint district promotion. You know, you're going to hear from her in a second. How do you get to district leader? Huh? So the sprint district is what? 3 by 6. Pass exam, 38. Is that hard? How many appointments is it? 10? 1 can be your own. 3 recruits? And pass your test might be the hardest part, but that's what you do to get to sprint. If you don't sprint, what is it? 3 by 2,500 in a month. And a senior rep, right, or a licensed rep that does 1 by 1. That's what you got to do. Listen, we can microwave you to district all you want. And I'm not going to call out anybody in the room, but you guys know. If you're playing at a level that you can't play at, this Primerica is not fun. It becomes a punishment. If you can't field train people, if you can't go out on your own and you're a dummy at the you know, like the Manchurian candidate, and you know, you're a remote control leader, that is not a fun place to be. How do you get to division? 5 by 5,000. 2 district leaders. Regional. 4 district leaders. 7 by 75. Now look, I'm a little wavering for regional leader. Maybe you can go on 3. The guideline is 4. It's not 2. If you go on 3, that's okay. But if you don't qualify in a 3-month period, we're going to put you back down to division. That's just what it is, and we're doing that. Look, anybody ever play sports? Anybody ever been benched? You been benched? Not only did I get benched, and I'm not an athlete like some of these people. I know I joke a lot, and but I did play sports. And that was one thing. My parents put me in sports. In soccer, I was a pretty good soccer player. And one year we got put up to the top division in select, right, travel league. We got put up to the top division, and we were one of the worst teams in the top division. We were great because in soccer the way it works is there's different divisions, right? There's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and the top 3 teams they ascend to the other level, and the bottom 3 they get relegated. Okay? And that's how it works. So you fight your way through divisions. And so we had been in Division 2 for a long time, and Division 2 was extremely competitive. We killed everybody. And then we got to Division 1, and we were getting just punished. I'm talking like 6-0, 5-1. It was bad. Okay? So when I was younger, I was a sweeper. Right? So I play sweeper. We're losing 6-0. The coach has to make a change. Okay? So I was, a leader on the team. I don't know if I was captain at that point. And at this time, I would go to Springfield, right, for a game, which I thought that was like other parts of the country, right? And my dad did too. So we go to the game, and it's travel, but like we're still young, like 10 and 11. Every kid should be playing, okay? It wasn't house league where you like have to play a quarter. Right, so you put the worst player in for a quarter and you're praying that he just gets eaten up alive. But everybody should be playing. I wasn't, I got benched, and I wasn't playing any of it. I was sitting the whole time, Ricky. We're playing 40-minute halves or 35-minute halves, 70 minutes of just watching players. And my dad's like, my dad, he worked. My mom worked. My mom worked nights at the post office and ran a home daycare. He's like, and my dad would be, he'd be just take it out on me. Like, man, I didn't drive. I'm not paying these select fees for you to ride on the bench. And I'm just like, man. And the last straw, I was sitting the whole game, and I think it was the only game we won, like 3-0, and the coach put me in for 2 minutes at the end of the game. I was so mad. I wanted to punch the coach in the face, man. I was like 11. I shouldn't be that violent. I was like, oh, wait, you're going to sit me for 4 games? And then 2 minutes, we're finally winning? Like, you think I need this trash time? I had never worked so hard. I was playing for Herndon. Okay? And the Reston team wanted to recruit me. And so I was like, forget these guys. Right? I was like, forget them. I'm going. I worked my butt off. Played 1 year for Reston. That team ended up folding because everybody, as you got older, the teams just started leaving. We punished Herndon so freaking bad that next year. Right? Played the whole game. We beat them 4-1. And not only did we beat them, we were talking so much, abusing them. It's like, yo, you're going to bench me? Okay. Then you're going to put me in for the last 2 minutes? Okay, we're winning. I understand. That's fine. You're going to insult me? Hey, it's not everybody gets benched, man. And sometimes you get somebody, we can't hold people back. And if you're not doing what you got to do, it's not a punishment. That's just, hey, that's your role in the team. Work. We have to raise our standards as an organization. It's just what it is, man. We can't pay bills on hope and promise. A fruit tree has to bear some fruit. And that's what 2018 is about. Now, I don't want you to, suck your thumb in the corner and feel bad about it and be proud about it and excited if somebody comes up behind you or you get flanked or you get, from regional to division. Don't be happy about it, but it does happen. It happens to everybody. Samir flanked me. Dante, you remember that. Samir got Dante. Samir was doing really well. He flanked me at division. And then what happened? Then it forced me to work, and I trained 2 people direct simultaneously that turned out to 5x5 and 10x10 legs. And then my team immediately, within 90 days, started doing 30x30. And everything I have has been built from that run of 18 months. After that period, an 18-month run has built all this. It's a true story. It's not. So we'll see how you respond. And it is what it is. So RVP, 6th district leaders. But these are our guidelines, right? We're going to etch them in stone. We're not, I mean, not etch them in stone, but we'll print them out for you guys so you know, because you should want to get promoted. Everybody, if you do it right, you're within 90 days of earning your next promotion. And that's how you should do, work from promotion to promotion. So Samir talked about the designations, right? So, look, and Samir, I guess Robert gave Samir a book about Start With Why book, which Samir gave me and said, hey, you have to read this. And so I was reading part of it before, and we do a lot of things. We do a lot of incentives. We're going to have an incentive. It's going to be a great incentive. It's going to be an unbelievable incentive. But incentives are great, but they're what? They're manipulations, right? That's what they are, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. But that doesn't what? You got to have a burning purpose in your freaking heart to do this business. I have other businesses, right? I've had other businesses. I've sold other businesses. I've invested in other businesses. And the problem with other businesses is you get sued. A lot of people don't understand that. Okay? Primerica, we have a legal team that will fight for you. So our lawyers fight for you. If anything ever happened, our lawyers, they come. Okay? But I got into another business, right? And within 6 months, I'm talking a big-time lawsuit. Like big time. Like infringement, patent, trademark, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Discovery, documents, I mean, just crazy stuff. Crazy, insane, right? And, one thing that I got involved in the court thing, and, we were kind of mediating it, and, there was a potential for me to lose a lot of money, okay, a lot of money. And I was talking to my attorney, and I said, listen, if it was just me, that it might be, I don't know, I might take it on the chin. I said, but I got to go home, and I got to look at my wife, and I got to look at that time I had 2 kids. I got to look at my 2 kids, man. And this is their money, and this is for them. And if I don't fight for them, who's going to freaking fight for them? And I told my attorney, and that gave my attorney the courage to go, because it's a battle when you're going into war. It's just like hours and hours and money and money and money, and you're just like, oh man, am I ever going to win this? And you start getting negative and this and that. And I said, if it was me, I would have laid down already. I don't care that much. But if I don't fight for my wife and my kids, who's going to fight for them? That is my job. If this is my son's inheritance or his future, or to my wife, if God forbid something happened, this is her money. This is her livelihood. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? He's like, you're right. And we fought and we freaking won. And there's no winners, but we got a good result. Like, what's your freaking purpose, man? What is it? And I know we say it all the time, but like, is it to do something great? Is it your family? Is it to provide? Is it like, hey, is your debt just freaking eating you alive and you want to pay it off? Samir talks about that. You don't understand how much that debt bothered him. I had debt too. You don't understand. And we can't even talk about how great it is financially. But having certain financial problems, it's worse. Having financial problems is worse than having money. Right? It's like they say field goal kickers. You go, making a kick is great. He goes, but nothing is worse than missing a kick. It's like that. It's like having money is awesome, but having financial problems, whoa. I mean, it's not polar opposites. This is worse. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Some of you guys got kids, man. Some of you have parents. Some of you guys want to provide. Some of you want to do stuff. This has to drive you, man. It can't be, hey, man. Now look, we're going to sell it. We're going to sell the Miami thing. We're going to sell movie night. We're going to sell barbecues and parties and, lunches with people. And you got to fight for all those things because they're little carrots. But man, there's got to be something deep inside because this business is very hard to do. I'm sorry, it is. It requires commitment, sacrifice, dedication, patience. All those things are un-American. Right? We know quitting, giving up, all these things. That's just what we do. And so, you gotta kind of review. All these things, goals, vision boards, imagery. It works, man. It works. Beginning of the season, every team, they're all saying, hey, we're going to win it this year. And sometimes they're right, man. Who was it? Were the LA Rams, right? What other teams were worst to first? LA Rams were worst to first in the NFL. New stadium, new city, nobody there, new head coach. Huh?
Jags.
The freaking Jags! The Jaguars! Their stadium was so empty. The whole top thing, they just had a picture of a Jaguar. It was a black canvas thing of a Jaguar. I was like, what is that thing? I was like, is that like a banner? Oh no, they're covering the seats. Because they won't let you go to the top deck because there's nobody there. Well, a couple people get hurt, get some momentum, get a new coach. They're freaking in first. They won their division. Tom Coughlin, right? I mean, people are scared. They don't want to play the Jags. I mean, Rams is one of the Jags, the freaking Jags. Jeez. And that's great. What a great story, man. I remember that the year the Dolphins, I think they won one game, right? And then the next year they went 11-5. And they were 1-15, and then they went 11-5. Like, that's our year, man. That's our year. If they can do that, we can. So, anyways, so our designation, 5K personal and 10. So anything above 5K, but if you do 10, it's going to be even bigger designation. And double-digit recruiting, and anybody does 10K base too. If you do 10K base, you're on there. Look, we're not manipulating. We want to see who's the what? Consistent producers. Obviously, you have our record board, and then what we, I was also a tennis player. I don't know if you guys know this stuff. I love this All right. So when we played, I did take tennis lessons one time in 8th grade. I love to play tennis, and I did take lessons one time. And it was a lady that had a private court, and she didn't charge much money, and I wasn't that good, but I wish I would have played, But the problem is that tennis season was the same as soccer. But I loved playing tennis when I was younger. You had a ladder. And that was the cool thing. It's like UFC, right? There's a ladder, and you have contenders, and every week you practice, you have one lesson, and then you have a match. And you always play the person right above you. And it was just like, I don't know why, like every week we see who moved up and won the ladder. This is stupid local tennis. Okay, it wasn't like anybody ended up making it good, but they're like, all right, we got a match. And it was guys, girls, older adults, everything. So like, all right, man, got the match. And then like you go in, and after you lose, they put you down. If you lost, you're like, no, right? And you move up, and you're like, yo, 3 in a row. And then the person above, they see the people, oh, man, Shaq moving up. And then you get to somebody that just nobody can beat, right? Yeah. And it was fun. It was fun. It was a ladder. It's just like UFC. The UFC does it too, right? If you become the #1 contender, they make the fight for the title holder has to defend the belt, or they strip them of the belt, and they usually defend it against the #1 contender. Now they make some special matches, but that's a whole good thing that you see. And I was a big boxing fan when growing up. I watched a lot of boxing, right? But the problem with boxing is sometimes you couldn't make the fight. Because they didn't want to fight, or they were arguing over money, so sometimes you never got to see the best fighters fight the front. But UFC, it doesn't work like that. That's why UFC is kind of, now it's getting a little bit bigger. Before, when it was younger, you always got to see the Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, Rampage Jackson. You always got to see the best people fight each other. You're like, oh, every fight, it's a war. You see the best people fighting the up-and-comers. You say, oh, this guy won 10 in a row, and now he's fighting the champion who's defended his belt 9 in a row. And you just get to see a war. You never saw that in boxing. There's a lot of strategy in chess because people didn't want to fight people. They had up-and-comers wanting easy fights, and the winners never took the big fights. And that's why boxing has kind of fallen off. So we're going to do, this life hierarchy side, I'm really excited about. Okay, so we're going to have a wall, just a stupid wall. We're going to have your name. If you get above 5 licenses, you're going to get your name on the wall. Base shot. Okay, hierarchy. Because you're what? You're building an agency. right? When I tell people that I have 400 people licensed, they're, whoa, right? This is something we have to start talking about, right? So I pulled the list. Rod and Helmy pulled this list, right? So right now we have 20 people above that, right? And then I don't have 400 licenses. I have 20 people that have 5 or more. Right? You see what I just did there? See, you hear 400, what? You're going to talk to me. You got to say something good. But this is the life hierarchy side. So, Kelvin with 6. Gustavo, you can give him a round of applause. Kelvin with 6. Gustavo with 7. Scott with 7. John with 7. Matt with 8. Tara with 8. Reagan 9. Luis 10. Hillel 11. Peter Tia 11. Richard Kessinger 13. Josh Perez 15. Ricardo 15. Ed Lee 22. Ian Shea 24. Matt Tiffany 30. Mike 31. Sophia and Mom 40. Samir was 70. And the base shop was 84. So we have a handful of people, right? But your job is to what? Take people out. Climb the ladder. We're going to have a Velcro board. If someone passes you, you're going under them. I would just want to go, okay, I'm just going to move up. That's it. Right? You know, it's fun. Like I said, the tennis, did we ever get paid to play? No. I didn't even play high school. But it was fun. It was something I looked forward to. It's like, yo, I'm going to practice. I got a big match. Right? Oh, man, I got this guy, man, He's at the top. I've won 4 in a row. Let's see, you know. And it would be like there'd be like tension. It's just one-on-one. You're like, all right, man, you're gonna play. You know, your dad's like, all right, you know. And then your parents look at the ladder. Where are you at? Where, you know, all these things. It's fun, man. How many stars are you gonna have? You know, I competed for stars and T-shirts, and you know, Samir's talking about it. You know, I was like, all right, man, yeah. We kind of had a bad quarter, right? We didn't have a great quarter, right? Okay, so I made 36, 40, and this month, bad month, 29,000. And we still have a week left. You guys feel bad for me, right? All right, will you help me out? Will you write some more business? I mean, you know, think about that. In a quarter, almost, you know, 110,000. In a not so great quarter, because the business goes up and down. That's the life of an entrepreneur. That's what you've chosen. Okay? You want slow and steady, go work at the post office. Okay? The life of an entrepreneur, we do go up and down. But if you can learn and you can grow and you can hire the right people, you'll go up and down. Like the stock market. Right? I mean, your career is what? In a mutual fund. Right? That's what it is. Yours is in a CD. I'm not trying to. Mine is in aggressive growth. Mine's in the Growth Fund of America.
Right.
Yours is in a CD. You got to get off the sidelines and invest your money. And it does go up and down. And you know, when it goes down, right? The pundits are always talking about it. So we'll see, right? I mean, this is where you are for the year, right? Start of the year, this is where you are, right? You can grow. You could grow by 50%. You can grow by, you know, like Diana, right? What she do last month? 24 licenses. Been in the company 2 years. 2 years. And yes, I mean, I'm like, damn, I suck at this business, but hey, I don't care. Because I know I'm going to get mine. I know I'm going to get mine. I know, hey, I can learn. And I know, hey, if someone else can do it, this company is not as hard as I think. And it gives me hope and you know, inspiration. So we had a sprint district this month, okay? And no coincidence, she got her first down as well. Doing appointments all late at night, became a client first. Failed the test, right? What score did you get? 67, then you took it when? How many days later? A week later. Still did her 3x6 in December. Right? Business is always good out there. Just sometimes it's bad up here. Always remember that. Business is always great out there. Sometimes it's just bad up here. And we needed this. Our office needed you. you know, like the company had $1 million earner in the last week. We need our office, our hierarchy, our team, we needed a sprint district. And you're extremely valuable. And I mean that because, you know, it just gives us, okay, hey, you know what? If she can do it, we can get somebody else to do it, and you're, you know, a hero to everybody. I mean, man, you're going to, in our event in 2 weeks, we're going to make a big deal, give you a bunch of stuff. The 3x6 in 30 days. And we know a lot of people, they don't want to buy, you know, you got to drive. You drove all over, right? You know, driving them, you know. When you're in parts of Maryland that are border Pennsylvania, you're okay. I mean, you're fine, right? But you do what you got to do, whatever it takes, right? For as long as it takes. And so 3x6 in 30 days, Pastor Tess, Jessica, we're going to hear from her just for a couple minutes. Tell us a little bit about your background. Let's give a huge round of applause.
Again, my name is Jessica, and I joined officially December 1st. And I sold a life on December 30th, so it was a very tight race, but all thanks to the dedication of Tara and Sophia. So thank you so much. And I work right now at my mom's restaurant. Before that, I was in the retirement industry. The company got bought out, didn't need us anymore. So, and my mom's restaurant just happens to be where I live, so I decided to help her. And then here comes Tara. Tried setting up several appointments, very persistent. So, and it got me to join once I saw the presentation. I've heard of it, and didn't know what to think about it when I saw the slides and saw where it was from, but I heard the story, I really listened, and I really believed, and that's the reason why I joined. And the more meetings I go to, the more I hear about Sophia's story and background, it's really inspiring, and I really hope to make an impact as well. I don't know if any of you guys read the book Think and Grow Rich. So it's been many years since I last read it, but there's a section in the book where someone who was trying to dig for gold couldn't seem to find it, and they kept digging, then they gave up. Someone comes along who digs like 2 feet further in and finds it. And that's kind of how I feel that this race is like, you know, you may feel like you're not gonna get there, but don't give up because you're just 2 feet away. You know what I mean? And that's how I intend to run this race. I know it won't be easy, and I've always felt that I have the heart of an entrepreneur, and I just didn't know where to use it. You know, I knew that I didn't want to be where I was at, and I really, you know, feel like God is in control, and I feel that deep down inside that I'll have a very successful year with the support system. Believe me or not, I love coming to the trainings. I mean, I really find it valuable. Like, I didn't think I would find it as valuable as I do, and I really thank you guys and Sophia for the trainings. I'm really learning a lot, and yeah, just looking forward to this year, and I thank you guys all.
All right. Great job.
Great job.
Wow. It'll be a great year. So, you want to pull these slides up? Sure. So, the company announced their new incentives, and some different things going on in the company right now. So, they're making some changes in a good way. I think it's really going to help a lot of people. And they're changing the scoring. So. All right, so, Fountain Blue, Miami, going, the contest period ends in May, so the company does analytics too. They look at, they want to reward the best businesses to win the trips. Always remember that. So the company, sometimes, people, they learn how to win trips, right? And that's great. You got to learn how to win trips. But that's like, you got to also grow your business too, right? So the company figures these things out because, and I'll talk to you about it in a little bit, and this is going to help us, okay? Especially because you got to understand the scoring system, right? The company is teaching you and tricking you and bribing you on how to do what you should do anyway and build a business, right? So we've never had more powerful incentives to make start the year perfect, to start the year in perfect position you to make history, okay? So here's how it works. Qualify at your level and get 50,000 points. Everybody understand that? Mm-hmm. So if you're a rep, senior rep 1x1, district 3x2,500, division 5x5, regional leader 7x7,500. Okay? RVPs 10x10, one recruit, one must be personal. Okay? Or if you do in RV, you do 3x3. Okay? And you get triple credit recruits. Okay? Now, if you become super qualified, so you earn builder's premium points for every level you hit. So say, for example, right, like Chundell, if you can't get to 7x7,500, but you're still going to get points if you get to 5x5. Okay? So it's not going to be a cliff, right? Because we know what? If you miss one time you don't qualify, what happens? You lose the trip. But now it's not going to work like that. Every level you get to, so like, Chundell, say you're at 4x4,000. Well, I'm giving up. I can't get to 7x7. Does that thought ever go through your mind, right? I'm just going to go for next month. No. You got to push, right? Because now you get points for every level that you hit, right? 25,000 builder points towards your Southeast score for every qualification level, right? And if you're a district and you play up, you get extra points. So a senior rep could do 10x10 and get like 150,000 points right there. Right? So raise your standard. You want to hire people that want to play at a level. Not, look, if you do the minimums, you're going to get flattened in the business. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying you have to do 100 by 100 to go district leader. But if you do the minimums, and Shay comes to me, and I know she's not going to do this, but Shay comes to me and says, hey, this guy, he's a really nice guy. I want to promote him. Okay, but you know what's going to happen, Shay? He's going to get steamrolled. He's going to get steamrolled. We're just trying to toughen you up. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to get you ready to play. It's a fast game at the higher levels. NFL coaches, they always tell you, it's like other guys get paid too. We're good, but they get paid too. These guys are good too, right? I mean, there's 3,000 people. The other guys, I look at their numbers. There's people like Diana come in. It's like, damn, 24 licenses in a month. They're good too. So if we take these cheap promotions and hire people, and we can give it to you, but what's going to happen to you? Right? We got to get people that play, that set the appointments, that prospect, that recruit every week, that show up to meetings, that never miss meetings, that are super freaking committed. You get 5 and 6 of that. I told you, I got 20 people that have 5 or more licenses. 20. You think that you could do that in a lifetime and have a perpetual income? How do you know? Well, you know who Lawrence Walker is? Anybody know Lawrence Walker? His dad, Lafayette Walker, gave him his business. He died. And now Lawrence Walker makes $700,000 a year from his dad's business. Tom Safford, right? You heard Tom Safford? Bob Safford died. Tom Safford makes $2 to $3 million a year. Income has gone past you. Say that, buddy. Complete the Fast Start bonus requirements in 30 days, 1x1, field training or lifestyle and complete class. You get an extra $100. So you go, if I sit down with Jessica, what's your husband, Daniel? Daniel. So I sit down with Jessica and Daniel, they become a client. I recruit Jessica. She already did a 1x1. She gets $200. It's like you basically got your husband on for free. So this is designed to recruit 2 people at once, especially couples, especially your client. It's free to do it. If you become a client, you pay $100, you get $200. You see? Does everyone understand that? You get what I just said? Right? So say, for example, I recruit... There's only one there. I recruit Josh. Okay? Now, Josh is not married, but he hopes to be very soon. Build up your business. Date before you get married. You don't know how many times I heard it. So I recruit Josh. Then I make them a client. I'm sorry, I make them a client. I lost my train of thought. I make them a client. So they have their field training observation. It's a free recruit. So if I recruit him, he pays $100. We get her, he gets $200. All right? So he paid $100, she paid $100, they get $200. How are we not going to recruit 50 people this month? If you have 10 clients and they're couples, you should have 20 recruits. It's free. They do have to complete the class, okay, which is online, which is a couple hours. How do you complete class? Look, pause it. Pause it. Okay, pause it. Hire somebody. If they're a client, free recruits, man. That's all I see. It's like, man, this is the smartest thing in the world. People just don't understand the math behind it. You make a client. Is my math right? No. Is it math? I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't say it. You sure?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So our incentive. Okay. Oh, 1 by 1,000. Personal in January. They're going to reset the contest. So if you slack for 2 months, you're on track. Already. People need it already. Right? It's all, what a freaking great company. What a great company. We want everybody to be in the game. Okay, so our event, January 13th, is it 13th? Okay. We are not having a Friday event. It's a one-day, Saturday, 9 to 1:30 event. Okay? With my favorite speaker in the company. I like listening to Warren Powers the most. NFL player, you've heard his audios, he's better in person. We finally confirmed a place. It's the Reston Sheraton that we used to go to. Okay? $600,000 earner, unbelievable leader, faithful leader, father, husband. I mean, just great guy. Built his business in Baltimore, so freaking intense. Makes people feel stupid if they you know, when he tells his NFL story about the NFLPA checking out Primerica, it's just like so much credibility. And he's on it. His team is killing it right now. And he'll be in, you know, whatever. Say a second. So 11 days, he'll be in Reston at our event. All right. So if you do 1 by 1,000 personal, right after our event, we're gonna have a winner's lunch with Warren Powell. And you can spend some time with him. Some of you guys, I've taken you guys around, and you guys understand how important it is to spend time with them. Okay. So by the 12th, if you're an RVP, you have to be at 5 by 5,000. 5 to 12. Okay, that's how you qualify. To hang with Warren, to build relationships with people, to make friends with people. So 1 by 1,000, if you're below RVP, 1 by 1,000 personal, by the 12th, you're there, RVP, 5 by 5, winner's lunch with NSD, Warren Powers, Saturday after the festival. All right? Tuesday. All right, so we'll be here. So tomorrow, I'm going to Atlanta for the senior leadership meeting. The company's got some more announcements. Tomorrow, anybody in the company that makes a certain income, they bring, I think, the top people in the company, so it'll be great. My wife and I will be down there tomorrow. Where they're going to take us to the new, where the convention is in 2019 at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. So tomorrow the night session will be at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta, so it'll be pretty cool. So I'll report back, and then we're here on Friday. If I can tell you just one adjustment, okay, for most of you, I hope you listen, right? It's funny, because I hung out with Jessica's mom in Michigan, right? Because she lives like 15 minutes from where I'm staying. So I text her, I on the group, and I said, hey, you want to meet up? And so we met, and I spent some time with her, spent about an hour with her, just kind of helped her, and she was, you know, just getting to know her. My wife was there, and it was great, right? And she goes, you know, she goes, wow, thank you, you know, I feel so privileged, right? It's funny kind of working with people that you never spend time with, because they feel like, oh man, you know, I'm so privileged I get to spend an hour with you. She's like, my daughter is going to be so jealous. And I said, no, you know, it's kind of funny. My wife said this. She goes, nobody listens to Shaq in the office anymore. She was joking to say like that, but there was a hint of truth there. See, when you become less coachable, that's why you get stuck. Okay? No one, the good thing about Primerica is nobody ever gives anybody a business unless it's inherited from a dad. That does happen to her mom. But I didn't buy this business, I built it. Like I went from senior rep to district. I went from district to division. I went from division to RVP. I went from, division to regional leader. Regional leader give up replacement to RVP. RVP to NSD. Right? So I know where you are in your seat. And if I can give one tip of advice, I know a lot of people, it's true. My wife was saying it. She was just saying it as a joke. She didn't know, but she was just saying it. It's true. People stop listening. You know, like Samir, right? I mean, yes, you know how much stuff I've learned from him about client stuff, about anything, like anything, just about the business we talk about, because he talks to other people. Like, we had an incentive. Some of you guys missed the incentive. Like, you missed the incentive with other winners. Like, you qualified and you chose not to go. You think that's smart? It's not smart. I mean, I don't want to bust anybody. I mean, you guys, the guys know what I'm talking to. Sometimes I gotta tell you, like, come on, man. I got somebody hanging out with me for an hour saying, man, thank you. People are gonna be jealous. This was really helpful. I feel like I've been floundering for months, and you gave me some guidance. Like, really? Come on, you're doing this business. You come to these meetings religiously, and you miss stuff. Is that smart? Make good decisions, man. And the whole reason I'm saying this is, come to Fridays. We'll be here on Friday after I go to the meeting on Wednesday and Thursday. Make a decision. Take off work. Tell you, I'm taking a class. I don't know what you got to say, because you are taking a class. An entrepreneurial building class. I have something I'm doing. You know, whatever it is, if you have a job where you can, you know, don't work Fridays. Make a decision, come on Fridays. Fridays is the best meeting we do. It's for the super committed people. I know it's not easy and convenient. Neither is making money or being successful. And your thinking has gotten you where you are. We got to make some changes, right? Freaking make a decision, come on Friday. I know it's not easy to come every Friday. It's not easy to go to the gym either. It's not easy to eat right. It's not easy to save money. It's not easy to pay down your debt. It's not easy to freaking be committed to your wife and kids. Right? I was freaking trapped in a room in Michigan for 4 people. I was like, yo, I'm going to be in the news. I'm going to kill all of you. Baby won't cry. Shut that baby up. Kids, it's freaking hard, man. You got to keep sanity for freaking a week. It's tough. You know, kids sick, you freaking cleaning up their throw up and poop, and it's like, damn, but that's what being a dad is. You can't freaking quit. I just don't, we don't do that. We don't quit. You just don't do it. We don't do those things. You know, my mom never did that for me. My dad, you know, my dad goes to surgery. My mom's freaking, you know, taking the thing out of his bed, changing my dad's diaper. You know, it's just like, damn, that's the lesson, man. Get lunch with Warren Powers. And today only, there's more. Buy 2 tickets. Get 1 free. Right there. Because we got to pack it out. We got 11 days. Okay? And you can try to sell 3, but you can give 1, buy 2, give 1 to somebody if you want to make that investment. Go back, Rotna's right there. Right? I think there's a limit per person though. Tell me if they're trying to get crazy with it, okay? We're going to have a great event. Warren Powell's going to kill it. We're going to have a great Friday. We're going to start on Saturday. Yeah.
Just to note, the tickets say 10 to 2, but the event will be 9:30 to 1:30. So just so you guys know that.
Yeah, write it on there as you get your ticket. Right? It's 9:30 to 1:30 because the hall has an event after that they have to get ready for. And it's going to be awesome. I mean, you know, we got Sprint District, we got Rising Star, we got unbelievable awards, top turnout, everything. Right? Who won top turnout last time? It was shaking up a little bit, right? Who won? So you won? Who else? And who won under you? Huh? Who won in district? Who? Okay. Who won in division? Nelson won? No, yeah. In the summer? You got 11 days, right? How many tickets you sold? You sold once, right? 30? Personal?
Yeah, personal.